Hi everyone, this is Sig Suarez and welcome to another episode of Watch Manila. Today we are taking a look at the biggest collaboration of 2022, the Moonswatch. But before we go any further, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and follow us on Instagram at watch_MNL. The Moonswatch is a watch born from the cooperation between Omega and Swatch, both of which are under one parent company, the Swatch Group owned by the Hayeks. Now there are 11 variations, or as they would call it, 11 missions. A mission to each of the planet in the solar system, and a mission to the sun, and a mission to the moon. Ultimately, the resulting product is a Swatch which looks like the well-loved Omega Speedmaster. Now before we go any further, let's do a quick unboxing and let's run through its specs. The Moonswatch from Switzerland comes from this Christmas packaging. So you open it up and you get to see the real box inside. What we have is the mission to Pluto, and the box is similar for almost all of the variations of this watch. You see the different descriptions all over the box, and you slide it to open. So it's a sleeve, and when you slide, this actual box really comes out to greet you, and there is the Moonswatch. So as earlier mentioned, this is the mission to Pluto. Now let's remove the watch first and let's take a look at the other contents of this one. So right here you will see this collection of the Moonswatches. So the different missions, you will see it, and the description of each mission. On the other side, you will have your guarantee certificate. So that is the guarantee certificate. And then you have the instruction and operating manual. So pretty much that's the box of the Moonswatch. Nothing fancy here, just plain and straight to the point box. Now it's time to go to the exciting part, and let's go to the watch itself. The design is just absolutely beautiful. You wouldn't contest the design of the Moonwatch. And now it's translated to different colors and different variations. It still retains the beauty. Look at it. And of course we have here the strap, which we will talk more about later. But if you flip it on the other side, you get the inscription of the mission to Pluto and some other Swatch descriptions right there. So it's very basic and it's aesthetically pleasing. But the material is something we also have to talk about later. Let me describe to you the characteristics of the watch. The case is made from a bioceramic material, which Swatch describes as a combination of ceramic and a biosourced material, whatever that is. Actually, it feels like a plasticky material, a smooth plasticky material, and it is very typical of Swatch. So you get exactly what you paid for. Now the strap material is Velcro and a lot of people are not very happy with it. But fortunately, there are a lot of strap makers which have released straps compatible with the Moonswatch, so you could easily replace it. Now the movement is quartz. And just a note, the stopwatch of this movement actually works. I did try it and it works. No one saw this watch coming, and needless to say, it was a massive hit. Initial reactions were really positive, but for those who owned Omega Moon watches, they were quite left wondering why in the world did Omega allow Swatch to produce budget versions of their watch. But later on, they did come to terms, and some, actually a lot of them, purchased the Moonswatches alongside their Moonwatch. Now, why is it such a big hit? Let me walk you through. So for me, there are three factors why the Moonswatch is a big hit. You have the design, you have the brand heritage, and you have the price. Now for the design, you have exactly the same dimensions of the Speedmaster here in the Moonswatch. And we have a situation today in the watch collecting world, both casual actually and the long-time collectors, wherein people are only after the design. So to be able to get a Speedmaster look, which isn't fake, for only 13,800 pesos, then that is such a treat. Now for the brand heritage, you take a look at it, it's a genuine Omega, it's a genuine Swatch. So you have that Omega and you have that Swatch, which is really a good collaboration, come to think of it, within the two companies. And now they produce something in between. So for people, there is that heritage. You could be proud of this watch. Lastly, the price is very attractive. Okay, so you have a $260 watch, a 13,800 peso watch, which bears the logo of Omega and Swatch, which looks like the Moonwatch. How could you not get this watch? But that is, of course, at the design level. So you get to see it, and a lot of people have bought it plainly for the design and for its quirky side. Now, it should be noted that the collaboration generated massive sales for Swatch and a demand which up to date they could not keep up with. So surprisingly, the sales of the Moonwatch also went up. So you have high sales of the Moonswatch and you have high sales of the Moonwatch. So it was a really great hit for the Swatch group in general. Now, that experiment proved to be a brilliant idea on the commercial and marketing aspect. Now, what do I think about the watch? Do I like it? Is it worth 13,800? Will I get it? Now, for me, the watch is absolutely beautiful. Aesthetically, I mean, it looks like the Moonwatch. What's not to love about it? It's very beautiful, well designed, of course. But that's about it for me. The design, it stops there. While most people can see it as I can buy a Speedmaster for only 13,800, we should also take note that the bioceramic material and the quartz movement are not that expensive to make. So, what people are buying here are two things: the design and the brand. So you have a design which looks like the beautiful Moonwatch, and you have a brand which is legitimately Omega and Swatch. I had the chance to own one at SRP and I did not get it. Aside from the fact that the watch will not have wrist time, I just couldn't fathom paying 13,800 for a watch which people call a fun watch. While it might be true, it is really fun, it looks nice, the designs are actually nice, the colors are really good. But for me, there are just too many better non-hype choices in the market. I can go with Seiko's, Hamilton's, Timex watches, and so on and so forth. This is simply my opinion. I mean, I do think and I respect people who get the Moonswatch. But for me, as someone who goes beyond the looks, I would definitely take a look at Seiko's and other brands. But again, when you buy this watch, we can never equate the monetary value to the emotional value. So if this is in commemoration of something, if this was a gift, then go ahead, this is actually a beautiful watch. Now to conclude, the Moonswatch is not a bad watch. I wouldn't also go far to say it's a good watch. It's actually a watch which is, people are correct, it's a fun watch. So when you buy it, it's an emotional decision largely because the price tag does not really justify the entirety of the package in terms of the movement, the dial and everything when you compare it with the other available choices. I just think that you could explore other things before you buy this. But then again, I couldn't argue with the Moonwatch design. It's absolutely pretty. I do hope though that the Swatch Group does not make this an annual thing or a regular thing wherein they release a plastic version of their nice watches. not only in Omega, they have other brands as well, so they better be careful because they don't want to spread out too many plastic versions of Seamasters, of Constellations, or of whatever watch. So ultimately, this has been a very successful experiment made by the Swatch Group, and I commend them for it, and I'm very happy for the group. Now let me hear about what you think of the Moonswatch. Is it overhyped? Are you still in line for one? Are you happy? Do you own a Moonwatch and you're extremely disappointed with this one? Comment down below and let us know what you think. Thank you for watching this episode, and this has been Sig Suarez. Please continue to join me. Watch the watches.